you still there? Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Are we on right now?
We are. We're in pre-show.
So it's not actually going on?
So, well, yeah. People are watching right now, but
okay.
but it's not the official show yet. We're just hanging out. Yeah, Tim is watching. Tim Trot Productions is watching. I can see him in chat. And Dad Bod Medic Nate is watching. Good afternoon. And Eamon's back. Parker, this is Eamon. Let me turn his mic on. Make sure he's on here. And yep, I've got you on, Eamon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've got you, Tom. Can you
hear me? Yeah, there we go. Eamon, this is my grandson, Parker.
Hey, Parker. Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
I heard you launched a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
My grandson,
That's pretty
Parker.
Cool. Hey, Parker.
Hello.
I heard you launched a YouTube channel.
I have.
I'm getting a bit of sort of echo.
Yeah, I am too. Somebody's watching this live. It may be me.
Getting a bit of So Parker, I can't wait to see your YouTube channel and hear all about it. That's going to be fun. What are you making your YouTube videos about?
Gaming videos.
Oh, cool. Okay. Are you going to stream on Twitch as well, or just YouTube?
Just YouTube.
Okay.
For now, we're easing our way into it. Parker's 10, and he's going to be 11 in March. And this is Parker. Eamon took your Uncle Jordan to a soccer match when Uncle Jordan visited him in Australia about 3 years ago.
Actually, Australian football.
Australian football. Sorry.
Yeah,
not even soccer.
That's okay.
Yeah, not even rugby.
No,
not even American football.
It's kind of a cross between rugby, soccer, and basketball. Is the best way to describe it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got some folks in the chat. Eamon, if you want to bring up the chat, if you're interested, if you go to my website and go to easternshorebroadcasting.com and go to the Watch Live tab there in the menu bar, you can pop the chat out. It's right below the video screen. You don't have to watch the video, but you can have the chat available there for you. And that'll be the YouTube chat where 99% of the folks are.
All right. I'll jump in there and answer a few.
Yeah, Maria's here. Parker, you can't see the chat, I don't think, but Maria is from Sweden, and she is saying, who is that nice guy in the middle? I think she's talking about you. Oh my gosh. All right, I look kind of bluish. Anderson, I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to do so many things today, and adjusting my camera wasn't one of them. Eamon, I did find out that I'd written down the wrong serial number. I left out a letter.
Oh, okay, that's great. Okay.
So I can get into the device, but it's not showing up under NDI. So we can have a look at that maybe. Okay.
Let's check it out.
You'll probably want to get back to bed. For Eamon, what is it? It is 5 till 5 in the morning?
Yeah, going on 5 a.m. So I won't go back to bed after this. I'm just working through. So
Holy cow.
Start for the day.
Holy cow. Yeah. My gosh.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not letting me go to the web page.
It's not? Well, why don't you stay where you are? That way we won't lose you by accident. Hey, Dean. Dean Klug just showed up in chat, and he has got one of these. Let's see right here. Yeah, I just sent him one of these this week to test out. Dean has got a big church in Orlando, and I thought, well, let's get it out there in people's hands and see how it's doing. There you go. And Eamon's on there. Yeah, the lighting, it's darker in Australia.
Yeah.
And Jan is here. All right.
Is there a way to open the chat? Pop out chat. There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Now you can put it wherever you want. All right. Dean's going to install it tomorrow. Dean, if you need any help, just holler. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. So we're still in pre-show, if you're wondering.
Dean, if you need any help, just holler.
Oop, somebody's got the show on. But to my right is Parker, and to his right is Eamon, and they're going to be on the show here in just a minute, not at the same time, at individual times. So we've got just a few minutes before that gets started, and there you go, Dean. You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. Today we're coming to you live from Fairhope, Alabama, from a Central Florida location, and from Australia. So there you go. And Marie says, I'm not sure if Parker is allowed on your page, Tom. It might be flagged as something not suitable for young children. Well, actually, Marie, if you go to our page, our YouTube page, we're under the category of comedy. So there you go. Parker, Marie, Grandy and I met Marie and her husband, Jan, last September in Amsterdam. And we had dinner together. They're delightful people. Yes, indeed. And there's Clint. Clint's from Kentucky.
I found out a way to look in the chat.
You did? Oh, you rascal. Okay. So are you going to get into the chat? You got into the chat last week.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll give it just another minute to let the gang
I just posted
gather.
something.
You just posted something in the chat? Oh, my gosh. So we probably want to post a link to your YouTube page.
I already did it.
You already did it. Well, it may not come because you did it, but let me see if I can get it in there just to make sure. And there we go. Okay. There it is.
Yeah,
There's this. It worked? Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. Anderson said we need to learn cricket. It's probably not going to happen. I've had the rules explained to me a half a dozen times, and I don't
Tom, I can
get
tell
it.
you I've been playing cricket since I was 8 years old until I was about 38. So what's that?
Yeah.
A good 30 years, and I still don't understand it either.
Well, what gets me is there's only one inning. Holy cow.
Well,
And an inning could last an hour. Could be 2 hours.
Well, yeah, the test cricket lasts for 5 days, and sometimes there's no result at the end of that. They just call it off. So they play for 5 days, and nobody wins.
Well, it's about the fun that you have and the people you hang out with. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Parker plays elbow cough, elbow cough. Thank you very much. Good job, Park.
No, it's a dab.
Okay.
It's a dab. We're too old for dabs. I am, anyway.
All right. So Matt is here. Matt's from Kentucky too. So it's old home week. There you go. There you go. Anderson, yeah, we hope you guys stay safe. Yeah, that is no good. All right. Well, I tell you what, guys, we are rolling up on 2 o'clock. So let's get this party started. And there's Otis. Otis, sorry I missed your call the other day. I hope you got my message that I called you back. You're one of the few that I actually call back. So there. All right. All right. So Parker, I am going to mute your mic, and Eamon, I'm going to mute your mic, and let's see if my mute mic button still works. Well, it didn't mute Parker, so we'll have to mute him manually. And then we're going to kind of put you guys in the green room for just a minute. And we are going to go to start the show. Eamon, we're just going to wing it. You know, there's just no other way for me but just you know, chat about what we like to chat about. And so let's get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, and this is Streaming Idiots. And I like to say that you know, you've probably been everywhere else on the internet. Now you've come to the edge of the internet. The internet it's like a flat Earth. You have come to the edge, and we are right on the edge because there's nothing beyond us. There is nothing beyond us. But if this is your first time in Streaming Idiots, welcome. Basically, the idea is, you know, Streaming Idiots. Everybody that does live streaming, sooner or later, that's right, you feel like an idiot because you do something stupid, you mess up something, you leave off the audio. You know, how many times have I done that? And so I thought, you know, let's gather all these people together and commiserate and share our failures, but share our successes. You know, we always learn more from our failures than our successes anyway, but it's our successes that encourage us and keep us going. And so if you haven't already, we'd love to have you join our Streaming Idiots group on Facebook. There's a conversation about live streaming going on practically 24/7 there. 4,000 idiots from all over the world and from all different backgrounds, some from broadcast background and some like me just sort of stumbled into live streaming years and years ago. But we would welcome you there. And of course, we would invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel too as well. Two really exciting guests today. I couldn't be more thrilled. And they kind of come from opposite ends of the spectrum. One is extremely experienced in live streaming and production and all those kind of things, founded at least a couple of companies that do with live streaming and video production. And then the other end of the spectrum, somebody that's just getting into the industry. And when I say just getting into the industry, I mean they are like just getting into the industry. So let me welcome from a location in Central Florida, young Parker. Let's get that graphic off the way. Parker, welcome. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Parker's is my grandson. That's right, my oldest grandson. And Parker, how old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10. And you're not quite into live streaming yet, but you are posting your videos, aren't you? Tell us about that.
I just like making content and putting it out there. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah? What kind of content?
Gaming videos.
Gaming videos. All right. What kind of games?
Roblox and Minecraft.
Yeah. Which is your favorite?
Roblox.
Roblox. Yeah. Yeah. And where do you post your game videos?
On my channel.
Uh-huh. And what's the name of your channel?
Parker Plays.
Parker Plays. And is Plays spelled kind of differently?
Yes.
How is it spelled?
With a Z.
With a Z. So it's spelled ZLAYS.
Wait, no.
No? What do you mean no? Of course it is. How's it spelled?
PLAYZ.
Oh, okay. And so if somebody's watching now and they're paying attention to the chat, I think just a few minutes ago we posted a link to your channel. So if they wanted to subscribe to your channel, they could do that and help you out a bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to the second part of the interview. Last spring, you did virtual school because they shut down the schools in your part of Central Florida. Would you rather go back to school or would you rather go to virtual school?
Back to school.
Why would you want to go back to school?
Virtual school is terrible.
It's terrible. What's so terrible about it?
It's just they throw all the work at you at once, and it makes it seem like a lot of work, and it stresses me out. When at regular school there's classes, so they're just not all throwing it at us at once.
They're giving it to you a little bit at a time.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Gotcha.
feel like a lot of work.
Just a mouthful instead of the whole elephant. Got it. Okay, very good. So are you going to go back to school or do you have virtual school this year?
I'm going back to school.
You're going back to school. Do you feel uncomfortable about that?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Is there anything you'd like to say to all the hundreds of thousands and millions of people that are watching right now?
Hello.
Yes, good. Okay. Well, thank you for taking time to come on the show today. And of course, we want everybody to subscribe to your YouTube channel. In fact, I hear that somebody's already subscribed and you're up to 10 subscribers now. Wow. This is huge. You're going to be a YouTube star. All right. Well, I'm going to cut you loose so and the way you can drop the feed is just close this browser. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I will see you soon. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Well, that is my buddy Parker, and he is a champ. He's a champ. It's I built a PC for him. I guess back in the spring. Yeah, it was actually right in the middle of the very beginning of what went on in the spring, and he's had all sorts of fun playing with it. So, thank you for letting me bring Parker on. Now, my next guest probably needs very little introduction, and that is Eamon Drew from BirdDog. Let me turn his mic on. There you go. Eamon, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for taking time this morning. I know you were really busy this morning.
Yeah, I had so much on. Yeah, it's very early over here, but that's okay. I'm very honored to be on your show again, Tom. I love joining these shows. So.
Well, you're a true gentleman. It's just after 5 a.m. in Australia, and they are not only is it early in the morning, but they're on lockdown, so you can't even leave the house without an excuse from your teacher. Holy cow!
Yes, we've been on. Let me go this way a little bit. That's better.
There you go.
We're on to day 6 or 7, I think, of 6 weeks lockdown. So we have an 8 p.m. curfew. Only 1 hour allowed outside every day for exercise. It's kind of like martial law or prison, actually. But I don't know. I sort of feel, part of me feels like it's unfair, and part of me feels like it's for the best. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see how we go.
Right. I understand. I have split feelings the same way. Well, let's talk about something more exciting and more fun. You and Dan, sure. You're one of the founders of BirdDog, and this is not your first venture into founding companies, but you guys have been going since, what was it, 2016 that BirdDog first started, or was it prior to that?
So we probably started working on things before 2016, but our first public showing or first public kind of announcement that we were doing some things with NDI was NAB, so April 2016. So we probably started.
I remember that
before that.
Yeah, that was a big deal because vMix was the first product to actually integrate NDI, and that was introduced at NAB that year. Yeah, that was good.
Well, Martin's always been a leader in this field, right? So. Yeah, I remember seeing the videos before NAB, and I playing around with things, and they had cameras and sources coming in via NDI, and I thought this is really exciting. This could be we could be onto something here, you know.
Yeah.
4 years later,
And you guys introduced the studio, I guess either then or shortly after that. which was your
Yeah,
very first foray into the manufacturing of products. Holy cow! Well, that was a little bit different, wasn't it? To growing your own, as we say.
Yeah, it was. Making products is really, really difficult. I have so much respect for any manufacturer who actually brings a product to market. The amount of work that goes into really crazy little things. Like sometimes you could be having a problem with sourcing a little screw that you need to put the case together, and that can take like a week to sort out. And it's frustrating and it's very hard. So, and then you've got all the technical challenges as well. So it's really, really difficult to bring products to market. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever done with my life. Yeah.
Well, I think you're on the right track, though it may be hard. Holy cow, you guys are just tearing it up. I mean, you came out with the Studio, and that was followed by the Mini. And then in the last 12 months, you guys have put out like 97 different products. Holy cow.
It feels like that. Yeah, I was trying to count the other day. So I think we went from 2 products about 12 months ago to, I think we've got over 15 hardware products now. So it's been an intense year for sure. And I please don't think I'm whinging or complaining. It's a lot of fun as well. So, but yes, it is hard work. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know you're not complaining because it's exactly what you guys intended to happen. I'm sure when you drew it out on the back of a napkin, you said, okay, the first 3 years, we're going to introduce 2 products. And then in the 4th year, we're going to introduce 1,000 products.
Yeah. I wish we could be more open about our roadmap, but we sort of need to be a bit secretive. But we've probably got about another 3 to 5 years worth of products up our sleeve. So we've got big plans. We're not stopping yet. We're not stopping now. So
good. I love it. I love to hear that. Gee whiz.
Yeah, Dan likes to joke that the last couple of years have turned him from having brown hair into grey hair, and that's true, to be honest. And it's probably sent. And I'm going bald now, so. If you see us in 3 or 4 years' time, Dan will be silver and I'll have a shaved head. So,
oh, that's great. Yeah. That's great. But that's the price of success. That's it.
Well,
yep. Yeah. As long as you keep enjoying it, that really is the key. Really is the key.
Well, one of the things I really miss is seeing all of our users and going to trade shows and things like that. So I really hope the world can go back to normal soon and we can all meet up in person as well. So that's the thing I really miss the most. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of satisfaction in seeing what you've or hearing about people using what you've created and using it in ways maybe you never ever intended. That they just have blown it apart and figured out other ways to do it. That is very cool. So you guys have come out just in the last say week or so with a whole new line of gear. The Flex family. Tell us a little bit about the Flex family, and while you do that, I've got some pictures here that I can kind of link.
Oh, okay, great. I was going to hold one up. Yeah. So the Flex, it's funny. It feels obviously it's new to a lot of people, but for us, it feels not very new because we've been working on it for quite a while, of course. It's a tiny little family of products. So there's 3 products in the family, and they all do 4K. And they're tiny little NDI encoders or decoders. So you have Flex In, which is a 4K encoder. We have Flex Out, which is a 4K decoder, and then we have the Flex Backpack, which is kind of unique and it clips into the NPF style battery connector or the L series battery connector on monitors, and we have actually enough power over the PoE to power most monitors through the battery connector as well. So here we're showing it with a Ninja 5, the Ninja V from Atomos, which is a really popular monitor recorder. And we actually have enough power coming over the PoE to power the NDI Encoder 4K, the ProRes recording onto the Atomos monitor, and the screen at maximum brightness. So that's kind of where we're at.
And what you're seeing on the screen right now is the backpack, which is remarkably similar to the N. The difference is the camera mount, I guess.
It's just the little guy on the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see it too well. I'm trying to hold it this way.
Let's go back to that. Yeah, you can see just the little camera mount right there. I mean the battery mount.
And so that was was sort of an idea we had. And so both the Flex In, which is the NDI encoder, and the Flex Backpack have about 15 watts of spare power, which you can use out of the DC out port, which you can see there. And we'll have some cables coming soon. Dan posted them in the user group literally yesterday or the day before, asking for advice on what battery connectors we can make and what power cables we can make. So we'll have cables coming out for Canon cameras, Sony cameras, probably Panasonic as well. So you'll be able to use a little production camera. We had a gentleman post in our user group actually that he'd got the Flex In, and he made his own DC cable. So he had the Flex Backpack. He made his own DC cable to go to his Canon XA15, and he was powering the monitor and the camera via the Flex over PoE. So one cable, and you can power, the whole rig potentially, depending on the power draw of the camera.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now this little green ring that we see around all of these guys. Tell us about this ring.
Yeah, that's where we call this our halo tally. I don't know, it's a good name, I think, but you can see here it's not on, but the white circle and the whole edge. And the whole point of that is when you've got it, say, mounted like this, then the camera operator and the talent can see it. If you've got it like this, then pretty much you've got almost a 180-degree view. And what we're actually finding is when you've got it mounted on the top, like the picture here, there's a little bit of light bleed over the back, so the camera operator can see it as well.
That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
So they're actually there are actually 3 products in the family. There's and let me get you and me out of the way. There's the Flex In, which is a HDMI encoder, and then there's the Backpack, which is an HDMI encoder plus the battery mount. It mounts as if it were a battery. Some people are a little confused, kind of thinking it was hooking up the other way, but it has the same connection on it that a battery would, so it can supply power to those things that would need battery power. Plus, it acts as an encoder too. And then the Flex Out, the one on the far right, is the decoder. So it takes NDI in and then outputs HDMI, and all of these are HDMI products. Really kind of interesting. I thought that you guys had looked and decided that HDMI was a path that you wanted to take. Tell us a little bit about that thought process.
Yeah, so these are obviously designed for sort of more consumery cameras, the lower cost cameras, and a lot of those don't have SDI. So so we thought HDMI was more of a catch-all for sort of all cameras. We've had a lot of requests for an SDI version, and we're looking at that, but I can't make any promises about that. I did see a little message pop up, and it reminded me that I missed one of the key features of the units as well. And so we also do. You missed more than one. We also do peak. Yeah, I missed more than one. So I'll go back and with the Studio NDI, which we mentioned earlier, we gave customers 5 things down one cable, and that was sort of the whole idea. And that's the power of NDI really, is we gave tally, audio intercom, video, audio, and what's the other one? I'm missing one. And power over Ethernet. So there's 5 functions down the cable. With the Flex family, we've gone 2 better. So we give now power output on the Flex In and the Flex Backpack. And we also give PDZ control. So we have a little OS232 cable port here on the unit. And we've got a cable coming out, which will be shipping in about a week. It's a very low cost cable, it's about $20. And if people want to make their own, we're completely okay with that. No one's trying to sell cables, it's more of a convenience thing. And the whole idea of that then is you can hook this up to the bottom of your PDZ camera, HDMI in from your PDZ, so from a non-NDI PDZ camera, and then use the RS232 control, which goes into an Ethernet port, and then you'll get control as well down the same NDI cable. So you get full NDI and PDZ control. So I think Daniel asked about will the NDI power a PDZ optics camera? I'm not sure. If it's under 15 watts, it should. But it can certainly do the control.
Yeah,
I think it is.
I'll be testing that very shortly. And what I found out is that the RS232 cable that you have, which is a 3.5 millimeter connector here on the unit, go into an RJ45, which is just, of course, your Ethernet connector. That doesn't plug into cameras that have the mini DIN. I think it's an 8-pin mini DIN RS-232.
Of course, yeah.
But there's an adapter cable for that.
Okay, great.
And Amazon has got them, and B&H Photo has got them. And so if you want to use, you can see it right there, that RS-232 to do the PTZ control. It's going to take 2 cables or a cable and an adapter, but that's no big deal. I mean, holy cow, Eamon, what you guys have done is you've basically unlocked almost every camera out there, almost every PTZ camera and almost every consumer camera, to now become full NDI for slightly more than the cost of an external capture card.
Yeah, and that was sort of the whole idea. And and even for the NDI enabled cameras, there's a license fee for NDI HX. So for not much more than that, you can go full NDI and you get a few other features as well. So, and you get a little portable unit that you can use for other things. So.
I mean, the Panasonic license is what, $300, and the BirdDog license. I mean, the PTZ Optics license is I think close to $500 now. So it's even cheaper to do the extra device. Plus, you can power it and have tally. Holy cow!
Yeah, we've been working hard on this one. We're actually hoping to ship this guy in like April at NAB, but with COVID and the lockdowns and supply chain stuff, it's been really, really difficult because we haven't been able to travel to the factory to do QA, which really slows things down. So, anyway.
So what do they do? Have to send product to you?
Yeah, exactly. They have to ship the product over to Australia. We have to do QA if there's something that needs changing. Back to the drawing board. We have to communicate via, video chat and all these other things. Then they have to spin up a new prototype, and it comes back to Australia. So usually, if we're in China, or we can do QA like on the day, so we can say no, change this, change that. It's just a bit faster. So you don't have to wait a week for them to ship something. No, that's wrong. Wait another week for them to ship something.
Right.
Yeah. So you turn days into weeks. Yeah, it's been frustrating. But.
Well, you guys have been spoiled, because 10 years ago you probably couldn't have done any of this in anywhere close to the amount of time you're doing it in now. I mean, gee,
well, that's true, and I actually really wonder how people made products before the internet was really readily available with all the information that was there. I sometimes stumble across their engineers and they're like on Google and they're searching for various things. In the past that would have not been available to anybody. So
you would have had to write a letter to somebody and ask them to make a photocopy of it and send it back to you by mail. Yeah,
exactly.
It would have taken years to develop something like this. Jeez.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason we're seeing such an acceleration of technology now. Like, things are just advancing so fast. So.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus, if we get the light right. Yeah, tell me about those 2 little circles on the end of this guy.
Yeah, so one of the things we've learned, along the way is that the chips that we use are called FPGAs, and they're the same chips that people like AJA, Ross Video, Blackmagic, everybody, Atomos, everybody uses these chips, and it stands for Field Programmable Gate Array. So what it means is we can actually send updates to give the products more features, which we've been doing for products like the Studio.
Right.
The good thing about these chips is that they're sort of programmable, so you can use them. The downside is, and they're low power as well, but the downside is that they generate a lot of heat. And there's no getting around that, especially when you're doing things as complex as encoding 4K NDI and multiple channels and various other things on there as well. So they do get hot. So we learned the hard way. We dreamed that we could make fanless devices like our Studio and our Mini and use the case as the heatsink. And yeah, you can, and they'll keep working, but they do get hot. It's just a reality. So we've changed our thinking. Got to keep evolving, right? So we've started putting fans into our products, and the thermals on this guy and even our big 4K as well, which is shipping now, is one of the things that we're most proud of. So there's one, I saw John's question, there's one fan in there. It's completely silent, so you can't really hear it, and yeah, it runs about the same noise level as an Atomos Ninja 5. So you can't hear it. It's silent. Generates no vibration to speak of, and you hardly know. You won't notice it's in there.
I have a bunch of these here in the studio, Eamon, and I plugged one in earlier. I'm halfway through getting it installed, and I put my ear up to the fan, and I had to go around and I had to turn off the air conditioning, and I had to turn off something else that was making noise in the studio so that I could hear the fan. And it was just like, this is definitely not the loudest noise in the studio. In fact, it is quieter than anything I've heard. I don't know how you guys did it, but that's amazing.
Well, we were talking before about iterations of products. That probably cost us a month just working out the fan, because no, that one's too loud. Back it comes. Try another one. Back it comes. So anyway, but yeah, we're really happy with the thermals on this one. I think if you saw the video that Anthony Barocas from Streaming Media made when we first launched, he said he had it plugged in for 3 days, powered the whole time. And
and he said it was lukewarm to the touch. I mean, you grab a Marshall camera and it'll burn you. Yeah, those suckers get that hot.
Well, that's FPGAs. They're probably going through the same thing we went through, which was the dream of having a fanless device. But there's no getting around it, really. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Now, is there anything in here I can hack? Can I open this box up and take it apart and do things with it?
You can try. I don't know how good you are soldering, and you can upgrade it. See how you go.
I could build it into my camera.
Well, maybe that's next, eh? We've done that with the PDCs, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly.
Production cameras. I'm not sure that we're going to go down that path, but never say never with everything. But yeah.
So, all right. So you guys are rolling out Flex. The Flex In and the Flex Backpack are available now. I've got them in stock here. The Flex Out is supposed to be available. In fact, I think you guys are sending some to the U.S. now. So they're in the process of getting in the supply chain.
Yeah, I think they're in manufacturing now. I think.
They're in manufacturing. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was going to be late. Where are we now? August, middle of August. Yeah, it was going to be unfortunately about 6 weeks away.
Okay.
We were hoping to have them out a bit earlier, but that's more.
So the end of next month. Okay.
Yeah, sort of the end of next month. Hopefully they'll be leaving the factory. To be honest, we just didn't want to wait anymore. We would have had all three out and shipping it at April.
Right.
All the COVID stuff hadn't have happened, but we just got impatient. We thought, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's get these shipping.
Well, that's right. Well, and frankly, and I think you and Dan mentioned it in your webinar last week, but this product represents a pretty dramatic change in how you guys announce your products.
We have become known as the guys who announce our crazy ideas and then take a year or whatever to get them to market, and that makes people frustrated, and we've learned the hard way that that's not the right way to do things. So we're going to stop announcing things in advance, for better or worse. That's what we're going to do, and we'll only announce once we're ready to ship. So Flex was actually in stock in all of our distributors globally before we announced it. So
yep, that's amazing, and it must be harder to do it that way. How much more fun is it to announce, hey, we have this great idea, and keep follow along with us as we bring this great idea to market. Instead, you had to sit on it forever. I know that I had to sign an NDA like a month ago or something just to even find out about this rascal. And
totally. I'm the least. The fact that Eamon Drew as a person was able to keep this a secret for so long, I think I deserve a medal or something like that. I am the worst person in the world at keeping secrets. So I tell everyone your secrets are safe with me because I'm going to tell everyone.
Right. That's right. You don't have to worry about it being a secret anymore. No. Got it.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
So, well, I will. A shameless plug. If anybody would like these are available in our store now at easternshorebroadcasting.com. In fact, the Flex Out is available there for pre-purchase. So if you're interested in those, let us know. We've also got the P100s there, of course, and the P200s, which is what I'm actually using here. I didn't get the color right before the show, but it's an amazing camera. I have fallen in love with this P200. Whose idea was the P200? Was that you or Dan, or did you guys come up with this together?
Yeah, to be honest, I think we both had the idea, even like right back at the very start. It was like, okay, cool, we've made studio that goes on top of the camera. Imagine if it went inside the camera. And so we'd always had that idea, and I don't know, I don't really know whose idea it was actually. Dan and I, we come up with a lot of ideas when it's like Friday afternoon and we put the tools down and we sit back and have a quiet beer together at the end of the week and just start talking rubbish to each other, and that's when ideas pop up. So I don't know, it's kind of like being in a band,
Right.
Did the guitarist write the song, the bass player, or the drummer? Because you all sort of did it at the same time. So
right.
A lot of the time, that's the way. But to be fair, most of the big ideas come from Dan. So things like being able to use the PoE to then have enough power to output. Well, that's all because Dan spends a lot of time researching technologies and what's available out there in the marketplace. So I can't claim credit for really cool things like that. Making a small 4K encoder, well, that's kind of course we were going to do that. But yeah, we've got some things coming down the track that are pretty cool as well. So
now, when the last time I saw you in person was back in September, so it's almost a year ago. Yeah. And were you guys plotting this device back then at IBC?
Yep. Yeah, we probably had some prototypes of the case and things like that at that stage, and we actually had a discussion about whether or not we should announce it at IBC, and we came to the conclusion that that's just going to annoy people, because people want to buy it straight away, and we'll just end up having upset customers. So we decided to wait, and we thought we'll announce it NAB, and we'll be shipping by then. And then in February, COVID came along, and changed everything. So
changed everything. That's right. Oh golly. Yeah. Well, this is very cool. We have come to the end of our time, but I would love it if you could hang out for a few more minutes and we can take some questions from folks in the post show. Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to. I can hang around for.
All right.
Well, you've got me. It's 5:30 a.m. now. I'm not going back to bed, so I can stay here for hours if you like.
Well, let's don't do that. But let's close out this part, and we'll be right back with the post show. So stick around, please. All right, let's see. How can we do this post show? Let's do this. And we're in post show. All right, let's see. Eamon, did I mute you? No, it looks like you're still live. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm still here.
All right. Oh, just as soon as I did that, I think I lost him. No? Eamon, you still there? Yeah,
I can hear you. I can see you. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just looking for something here.
That's okay.
1 second. All right. So if you guys have asked questions in the chat, I would love it if you would go ahead and kind of bring your questions back up to the front so that we can see them, because we may not be able to go back and get them all, but we don't want to miss any. So by all means, give us your questions so that we can see them again.
Marie asked about the tallies. Can you see that one? So Marie, they can actually be programmed to be orange. I didn't really consider that for vMix preview, but typically in production workflows, preview is green and obviously program is red. So we've gone with green and red for now, but there's no reason we couldn't put orange in there if that's something that people want.
So user configurable?
Well, at the moment they're not, but there's no reason that we couldn't add the ability to do orange. You'll notice when you boot them up that orange is one of the colors
That's right.
flash.
Yep.
So so it's just a matter of programming them to be orange when vMix is on preview. I'm not sure if there's any data in the vMix, the stream that it's sending to the units that's different to, say, another NDI switcher, or if the NDI tally information is just set. So I'm not sure if we'd be able to identify it's a vMix and then make it orange. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Chris is over in New Zealand, and he's asking if this will adapt to fiber.
Yeah, kia ora, Chris. I am an honorary Kiwi. I spent a year living in New Zealand, and I used to date a girl from Timaru for 5 years, so I know New Zealand very well. I love your country. You can adapt it to fiber, but you would need an Ethernet to PoE, Ethernet to fiber adapter. Sorry.
Right.
They're pretty low cost, though, aren't they, Tom? They're only sort of $20 or $30 for those, I think.
Not much.
But you would lose PoE. So.
Okay, let's see what other questions have we got. I love Jan's comment. No more stupid SDI capture cards. No more stupid SDI cables. No more pulling 10 SDI cables in parallel across the athletic stadium. That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the other thing that these can be used for is just like, instead of getting like a USB capture card, you could always use one of these as well and just come in NDI. So, and then it's a bit more flexible. So then you can use it for other things, for other jobs.
Oh yeah,
and that as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the difference between this and a Magewell capture card, $100 US, you've got you've got PoE, you've got tally, you've got 4K. It's just like, and it's as big as the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
Holy cow, this is going to be.
It was actually smaller. There's a secret for you. It was actually smaller, but through prototyping, we had to change a few things, and the PoE circuitry and stuff took up a little bit more space than we were hoping. But yeah, originally it was the same footprint as a credit card. Now it's slightly bigger. Yeah.
All right. Rich is asking, does the device have a USB out for power? I don't see one, Rich.
It doesn't. But in the group yesterday, Rich, in the BirdDog user group on Facebook, we were asking about various cables that people want, so we can make a DC out to USB power cable, and we're going to do that. So, yeah.
So you guys are going to. I mean, I saw the cable. It's like $14.95 for the PTZ cable. It might. Yeah. It's got to cost you at least that much to make it. You guys are giving these away for cost. Holy cow!
Yeah, we have a basically our attitude, or our company kind of ethos when it comes to accessories is, a lot of companies try and make huge margins and huge amount of money on the accessories. We just want to pass them through. That's not what we're about. Like, the accessories are just to help customers use the hardware, essentially. So yeah, we don't want to make, we can sell a cable for $49.95. That's just
right
what we're about. Yeah.
And there are companies that do exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As if their brand name was worth that much.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to pretend that we make the cables. We source them and just make them available, because it's,
Now, Rich is in an interesting environment because he is around mostly oceans and saltwater areas. And so he's going to get these, and he's going to put them in those environments on a regular basis. And he's going to drop his in sand, and, it's going to be out in the sun and all these crazy things. So I can't wait to hear.
Rich, I met Richard in AB. Does jet ski videos, right, Rich? Is it in Hawaii? In Hawaii, Rich?
Oh, he's all over.
No,
he goes.
Okay.
He's in California, but he'll go all over the U.S. He's been here to Florida a couple of times. I think just what 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, nice guy. The salt spray stuff, I don't know. I don't know the answer to how long it's going to last with sea salt going in them, to be completely frank. But yeah, in the sunshine they'll be fine. You can use them in the sun all day. They'll be fine.
Well, Rich's plan typically in the last conversation, and Rich, by all means, don't let me speak for you. Jump right in. But his plan typically is that the gear he expects is going to last a season, because it's just being abused every day or every weekend. And so he's prepared to replace it at the end of the year. So I'd be interested to see how one of these would do in a season, because it's got these nice little vents on the end to suck in all that salt air. So we would see how well they did.
You could.
A filter in there?
Oh. Yeah, there should be a little filter in there.
So the fans are exhaust fans. They're not intake fans.
Well, yeah, they correct. It creates airflow, so it draws it in from the other side and then pushes it out. So it's just about creating airflow.
So the grill over here has got a little filter on it. Yeah, right there. Yep.
So it brings it in there and then blows it out the other end. Yeah, correct. And then it's just about creating airflow across the circuit.
So the hot air is coming out here. I got it. Okay. There we go. Be interesting to test it. Very good.
Yeah,
all right. What other questions you guys got? You want to know if you got them? Yes, I have them right here. Rich says he's had computer parts rust from the inside out. That's great. Yeah, he had a Magewell capture card, I think, that came apart because it was so rusty. He sent it back to Magewell and they fixed it for like $50 or something like that. It was amazing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You can send it back to me, Rich. I'll get my soldering iron out. I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Can't promise they're going to work after I touch them.
Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Somebody was asking how much power in wattage do these devices consume? If they're going to be PoE plus.
So we say that it's got about 30 watts power in there, but we haven't done enough testing to be able to give an exact answer. And this is just completely frank, on how much available power you have out once all functions are working. So we're saying 15 watts out, but it might be slightly more than that.
That is a classic BirdDog thing. You guys are always, saying, oh, well, it'll do X, but, really it'll do more than X. But X is all we're going to put in writing. It's like the studio. You took that studio device that was a SDI and HDMI input, and then you made it make coffee, and it gets groceries, and it does all these other things because you've reconfigured it. You must be on like firmware 25 with that device, because you've
got a couple more surprises with Studio too, so it's going to get a little bit better as well.
It's a product. It's a lot like vMix. It must be an Australian mindset, because vMix is one of the products that I love the most, because they're always innovating and you're always getting something new, and you guys are adapting, taking on the same exact attitude of bringing out a product that is amazing and then making it even more amazing as time goes on.
Yeah.
As Ollie said, he's like, we're modest.
Well, we have learned from the best. vMix and Atomos and Blackmagic do the same thing as well. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, Max is asking about Dante. Tell us about Dante. What's going on with Dante?
Yeah, Dante's going really well. So Dante Bridge is actually ready, which is the NDI to Dante and Dante to NDI software. We're still just trying to work out the licensing with Audinate. We're very close, is the answer. or Dante for comms. So because we made 3 announcements with Dante, there was
Right.
Dante Bridge, Dante for Comms Pro, and then Dante for hardware. Dante Bridge is basically ready, so it's finished from a development point of view. Dante for Comms Pro is basically finished from a development point of view, so they're both ready to ship once we get the licensing sorted out. Dante for hardware is a little bit more difficult because we have to embed it into the silicon chip. So that's in process, and that's actually coming along very nicely. I guess that's probably, I don't want to put a timeline on the engineers, but I would, if I was a gambling man, I'd say maybe a month.
Wow. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, we're going to have to get you back on and talk about that when the time comes.
I saw Rich's question. Yeah, Rich, you check out on our website, go to products and go down to Dante. Yeah, we've got an application called Bridge, which will flip NDI into Dante and Dante back into NDI. So you can embed and de-embed Dante out of NDI stream.
Now, Eamon, while people gear up with their next set of questions, but before BirdDog, you were involved as a new tech dealer, or
yeah, it's sort of
reseller or distributor. I'm a little foggy on that.
Yeah, distributor. So that's part of the reason BirdDog all came about. The story was, so in 2000 so I've always been in product distribution since I was 23 years old. Dan and I actually met each other as teenagers working for a company that sold the very first capture cards for computers. So yeah, because Dan and I grew up in that, we're one of that weird generation of like 6 or 7 years where we grew up in an analog childhood watching, analog TV. But then by the time we started our first job, we had computers and email, and machines were on their way out, and we were, sending emails and things like that. I still remember the day Dan installed email on all of our company computers and said, "This is amazing," and I was like, "Okay." That's sort of, where we sit in the world. But yeah, we stayed in touch, and then in 2010, Dan went off and worked for Avid for a long time, and in the UK, and came back to Australia to start a family, and yeah, we stayed in touch, and then in 2010 we started a company together with another guy as well, called Chris, and he stayed on with that company. But it's called Blonde Robot, and they're the importer distributor for many products, including NewTek, Atomos, AJA, Teradek, Sackler tripods, all this kind of streaming and production gear. And depending on the agency, Blonde Robot has the agency for, say, NewTek, or at the time when we started BirdDog, we were selling NewTek in like 16 countries. So New Zealand, Australia, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, all of that Southeast Asia region. And yeah, just because of our relationship with NewTek, they came to us with the NDI announcement, because we were one of their distributors and partners, to sort of say, this is what we're going to announce at NAB. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Get a bit of feedback, all that sort of thing. And yeah, like BirdDog came about, and I just were talking about how are we going to get cameras into TriCasters, and sort of things like that. And Dan, I didn't really think much of the conversation with Dan. It's one of those things. We're on the way to a meeting or something like that. I can't even remember. And then 4 or 5 days later, Dan, being the guy that he is, has come into the office with a diagram of the studio NDI, and had like this kind of stuff written down on a piece of paper, and he was like, "We're going to make a product and all this." And I was like, "Okay, well, that seems completely bonkers, but I can see the need for it. But we're not hardware makers." And he's like, "No, we can do this," and here we are. So yeah, turns out we can do this.
Yeah, that's right, and do it very well. Holy cow!
Yeah. So
yes.
Well, yeah, Dan's really the leader on the visionary of the products. So, the whole reason we're here is because of Dan. So, yeah,
that's great. That's great.
Yeah, so that's the story of where we come from.
Great story. Great story. I love it. Yeah. I love those kind of stories. They're very they're exciting and they're inspiring, and that's the cool part about it. Yeah.
Yeah. People keep saying we should write it down and put it on our website, but I think it's got a bit more. It's better when you tell it in person.
I agree. That's what I told you in Amsterdam. And you don't remember that night. I know. when we were at the
Probably not,
Australian
no.
pub, and
Oh yeah.
and you and Dan and I were chatting, and I said, you know, you guys have got an incredible story. You need to document the whole thing and document it by video, because that's the medium. I mean, you know, of course you're going to do it by video, and
We should
sit
actually
down
do a
and
sit-down
do
interview
it.
one day.
Absolutely. And then a year later, come back
Yeah.
and add to it, and then a year later, come back and add to it, and then you know, when you sell the company for $10 zillion, you can sit back and watch the movie.
Well, yes, I think Phoenix are first. You know, they're going to get an offer. If they haven't already, they're going to get an offer soon from someone. But
Oh,
whether or
it
not they
was
take it, that's
it was funny. It was NAB 2017, and Martin and Tim had asked me to come out and join the team there in the vMix booth. So I was thrilled to do that, and both of them had gone to lunch one day, and I was the only one there. It was just one of those slack times at NAB, and this little guy walks up and he says, hands me his business card, and I didn't look at the card. You know, he said, "I'm so and so," with and he named the company, a very sizable company that makes operating systems and other stuff. And
wow, yeah, that's who I think is.
And he said, "How come we haven't bought you guys yet?" I was like, "Oh, you couldn't afford us." You know, that was the case. But apparently, that's not the first time they've been approached by any one of those big names to buy them, and they just, you know, they don't want to give away. You can't sell your children. You know, I think they want the product to get where it needs to go.
Well, and this is the thing, right? Like, you know, it's money's not the only reason to get up in the morning, right? You know, if you're loving what you're doing, and I think, you know, Tim and Chris really do. So Tim and Martin really do. Then why would you?
That's right.
So I'm just looking at some of the questions. Kiwi Chris Morton. Yeah, Chris, I remember your name now. Sorry, I should have tweaked.
Somebody asked me the other day, Eamon, what was I going to do when I retire? Because I am approaching that age here in the States where people retire. And I said, you know, when I retire, I get to do anything I want. And what I would love to do would be to have a little small studio where I could have a weekly, you know, internet show, and build streaming equipment and help people learn how to use vMix. And I said, well, wait, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm doing what I love, and if I were to retire, I would do exactly what I'm doing now, because it is just too much fun. It's just too much.
Honestly, same here. It's like if we were to sell the company or whatever, which we're not going to, but there's always that, what do you do next? And like, I don't know. I'm a pretty awful golfer. I don't even really enjoy it that much. It's one of those things I think I'm supposed to enjoy it, so I go out and play, but I'm awful at it. I'm like, what else? What am I going to do? You know? So, just keep doing this, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you'd probably end up being an evangelist or something. That would fit.
Yeah, or just go around to trade shows and meet with customers and see what people want to do.
Yep.
I don't know. John just made a comment. John, that's very flattering. Thank you.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. Oh, Rich is saying, now if you could just get an NDI enabled Tesla, you could probably fit that chip in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, I've got a Tesla, so I've got a Model 3. It was my gift to myself when we sold Blonde Robot a few years ago. And yeah, like I got a software update and it enabled Netflix because I've got the 3, so it's got like the landscape screen. And I had a flat tire and I was watching Netflix in there, and I'm like, this is better than my home theater. So if we get a way to plug our cameras into the screen and stream from the Tesla, then we're set. Never have to leave the car.
Oh my gosh. All right, folks, remember, you heard it here first. And it was Rich's idea, so we have to give Rich the credit. Yep.
Yeah, you can definitely be in the credit for that.
Eamon, we're going to call this quits, but you have been a champ to get up so early and come on. Thank you so much. amazing,
Tom,
amazing product. Let me get the logo the right side up. Amazing product. You can get the full line of BirdDog gear at Eastern Shore Broadcasting. And the one promise that I will make you guys is that, you know, we're only going to sell things that we know and we trust. We're not just going to sell things because people are buying them. I don't want to do that, because when you call and you say, well, Tom, I don't understand, or it's not performing the way it's supposed to, I want to know the answer to that question. And so that's the deal. We've fallen in love with the P200 video camera, the BirdDog P200. What, it's eyes? Where does the eyes come from?
Yeah.
BirdDog eyes P200. I guess because it's a camera.
The eyes thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got eyes and you got a flex.
You know, your eyes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't like it either, and I'm the marketing guy. So.
It's an amazing camera. And actually, we've done something we're probably not supposed to do, Eamon, is that we've purchased them and we're loaning them to people so that they can experience them, because you have to experience this camera. Well, you don't have to, but you should experience this camera because it's amazing. The user interface is, you guys have knocked that one out of the park, by the way. I meant to mention that earlier. Logging on using the serial number. You know, you don't have to worry about an IP address or any nonsense like that. You're logging on using the serial number in any browser, and you've got access to all the functions right there. You can do it on screen menu if you want, but here are all the functions right there, and you can turn things off and turn things on. And like the P200, I found out the other day that you can take it and you can, you know, what was it? You reduce the NDI bandwidth. And so I drew it back to just under 100 so I could run it on a 100 gig network. I mean 100 meg network. It just, you guys just have hit it out of the park time and time and time again. I'm excited. I'm delighted to represent you guys here in our little part of the universe. Yeah, for sure.
Tom,
have I seen one?
You'll always be one of our super VIPs, and we're honored to be on the show, and we'll come on anytime that you ask. So,
You're very kind.
Yeah.
And they do. They do. Don't tell Eamon, but we are not big things here at Eastern Shore Broadcasting. We're just a little guy, but they think that we have all this influence in the world. It's amazing.
You do,
but don't tell them. Don't tell them. We don't want them to know. We don't want them to know.
The one thing I will say to you, Tom, though, as well, when you're talking about the P200, have you downloaded the cam control software and how to play with that?
Have I downloaded the what?
The it's called Cam Control, as in camera control. It's free software. It's on our website. I'll send you the link after the show. But what it does is it gives you control of all of the camera functions in a piece of software, and you can load up 3 P200s into the software.
No
you get a
way.
full screen preview output. Yeah, and it's for color shading. And so the things you can do is you've got access to all the color control. And you can have a full screen preview output, so you can really dial in the
You
colors
are
properly.
kidding me.
No, but then the best thing is you can copy the settings from one camera to the next. So you can color match 3 cameras in literally seconds. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, send me the link. I got to play with that. Send me the link. Got to play with that.
Yeah.
All right, we got to let Eamon go back to bed because he's got to have at least a couple hours shut eye before he starts his day.
No,
it's Thursday there.
Facebook and social media time. Trying to answer everybody who's contacted me overnight. Yeah.
Good. Well, you're a champ. Stay on with me for just a second, but we're going to let everybody else tootle out. And I appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week. How can we follow this show next week? Holy cow, I don't know. We'll come up with something.
You can get the smart guy from BirdDog gone. We'll get down on.
Yeah, that's right. We'll wait just a little. We'll wait for Dante to get fully released, and then we'll get Dan on. We'll get him on.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. All right, folks. See you next week. Appreciate you very much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
And just a moment here. We're just going to cut the stream at this point.